Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm excited because we're starting to put some performance parts on our truck. So after doing a little bit of research and knowing what I know about these 7.3s, you drop a ton of money into them and make them exactly how you want them to be. Personally, I want to put a lot more into one of these trucks than I am about to, but that's for me at a later date. I figured I'd get my toes wet, and after doing a little bit of research, I found KC turbos, and I decided to go with them. So on their website for the 7.3s, they have a couple of different little power packages going on. I decided to go with their economic package here, which I now have. So here it is in all of its glory. Oh. So I haven't really screwed with the tuner very much. I assume that you're going to have to download some tunes onto this because they didn't ask me any questions when I bought it as to what the truck is, manual, auto, PCM code, any of that. But just let's take a second here to admire this thing. I don't often buy new parts, and I definitely don't buy performance parts very often. But this thing's impressive. This thing's amazing. So this is already balanced. It's torqued to where it's supposed to be, and that's what this little torque pane is. So you can put it right back where it's supposed to be. But if you put that mark back, then this thing should be perfectly balanced when you put it back in the truck. So it also came with a rebuild kit for our turbo. And then like I said, the tuner. So we'll have to figure out how this tuner works in a little bit. But for now, I think the goal is to get this turbo off the truck. All right, so first things first, I guess we need to get a baseline. So that's what we'll do now. We'll just get a feel for how the truck works now. Otherwise we won't really know what we accomplished. So do a little 0 to 60 in this and see what that is. I'll throw a timer up there. And yeah, we'll go from there. At least we'll have something to compare it to, I guess, instead of nothing, the seat of my pants. But yeah, let's try it. All right, we're gonna give this a shot. It's gonna be a little difficult because of the manual, but here it goes. It was abysmal, I know. But it's okay. It's a stock truck. I mean, what you gonna expect? It's 30 years old. It's been through some time, even though we refreshed everything underneath it. But we'll see what these upgrades are gonna do for us. Yeah, let's get back to the house and we'll start working on this thing now. It's very warm on the truck. Now the engine is as warm as it can be. We'll start working on it. So I'm gonna pull this turbo out. I don't think you guys want to watch that. It's a few bolts, kind of hard. The engine's hot. I'm gonna burn myself. The whole thing kind of sucks. So yeah, I guess I'll see you on the bench when we're rebuilding it. All right, let's just take a second and admire how clean this valley is. There's no oil anywhere. Okay, well, there's our turbo in all her glory. She doesn't look bad. I mean, I guess we'll see once we take the housing off and see. And it looks like my DIY exhaust back pressure delete is holding strong, not leaking, so that's a plus. Yeah, so I guess we'll start ripping this guy apart to make room for this guy. All right, well, now it's all apart. I got them next to each other, and you can kind of see some of the differences already. I guess we already saw that. This is billet, and that's pretty nice. So, yeah, but other than that, you got the turbine housing, which you can see is just a little bit longer. It swoops out a little further. So I guess in theory, that would make it spool better, faster. I don't know. I'm not really an engineer, so I couldn't tell you exactly what that does, but I know it's supposed to be better. So yeah, it was pretty easy to remove. I've already rebuilt this, and that's kind of why it was easy. Everything's kind of fresh. These O-rings are super good still. So yeah, so I guess next I'm just gonna break into this parts kit and kind of see what's going on here. It looks like we have a 360 instead of this guy that'll go here. So I assume that this splits in half. At least I hope so, otherwise it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, I guess now it's just the reverse of what I just did. So let's put it together. All right, so you just put this little snap ring on here. Oh, you can't see that. This little snap ring right here, that snap ring. This little ring right here keeps the oil from coming through. Put that on there. There's one that goes on here as well. Then you're ready to kind of assemble. So then it's going to go bushing on here. So bushing's going to go on here first, like so. And then you got this little dude, spacer, I guess. And your second bushing. Definitely put too much oil in this container. All right, and then you're ready to slide your and then you got to like push it on a little bit. There you go. So then that side's done, then this goes this a ways. Boom. And there's this little hole here, which you're going to want to key with this guy right here. Something like that. And then this guy goes on like this. So you want the ring facing forward. Boom. There you go. So this little gold piece also gets splined into here. Not splined, but it gets keyed into here to keep it where it needs to be. So just when you're putting it together and you're fighting that, just keep that in mind, I guess. So yeah, this one goes right in that groove there. This guy has a little arrow on it. It's supposed to be at the bottom. Also this tag plate here where you would put a sticker needs to be at the top of your turbo. So I guess I can move this up a little further so you can see, huh? So like that. And then you're going to try to get this in there as well, which is sometimes difficult. And sometimes you get it right away, so just like that. And you put the bolts back in. Yeah, so I just lined up those two, purple and purple. It should be torqued. Time to reassemble the rest, I guess. Oh yeah, looking nice. Obviously the outside of the turbo looks the same. It is the same. I painted this 8-10 months ago. Has 2,000 miles on it roughly, so that's why it's looking a little rough. But yeah, she looks pretty. It was an easy install. Can't really see in the back very well, but there was nothing wrong with our old setup. This guy was actually really tight. It was working well. So yeah, there was nothing wrong with our old setup. I just kind of wanted to start playing with some performance parts. I've never put any kind of turbo or injectors on these, so this was my first step into that. The reason we went with this set as opposed to one of these sets for the power package with all the injectors and everything was because eventually I want to do I do want to go big power, but I kind of want to go the S400 route with like some 300 200s or some 250 100s or something like that. But like I said, I want to go with like a T4 mount and do my own kind of thing there. So another option would be their new KC300X Gen 3 turbo. And I really wanted that turbo, but they don't have it in the OBS yet for sale. So, and that's what I'm trying to work on. It would work in that one, even though that's an E99. I have all the 2000 and up stuff on it, and they do have that turbo right there. So, like I said, I would have gone the KC300X with the Gen 3 route, but I can't get it for an OBS. So, And that would have opened up the window for me to get up to at least 250s as far as injector size go, and then maybe if I was happy there, I wouldn't even have to go to 300s. Would have gone with a Stage 3 or a Gen 3 KCX, KC300X, but couldn't do it. So what's the next best thing? In the meantime, we got this bad boy, and we'll see how she works. So I'm gonna get this installed. I'm sure you guys don't want to see that, and I'll come back for the Hydra install. All right, so we got our PCM here on the table. And our Hydra's all taken apart here. So it looks like you get a little scrub pad. We got a wire brush and a cable here. Then a cable here for the tuning, I guess, what this would be for. Then our tuner and the selection pad pod, whatever that is. So yeah, I guess we should address this. And I already went to the site, and they have a couple different download links, and that's for mine. So we opened it, and we have that. So these instructions don't really say whether to program this before you put it in here, but I'm going to assume, yeah, looking at it, you have the program port on the side, and then this sticks out the back, so I don't think you're going to be able to get to that. Well, actually, it sits like this. You're definitely not going to be able to get to that with it in the computer. So I'm going to pull this out, we're going to connect it, and we're going to see what this software is going to do. Alright, so it looks like we got everything on here, or all our spots, I guess. So next is to find our hex key conversion, which you can find here. Boom. So ours is SOD4 or S0D4. Not really sure. Put this drop down, and we'll find SOD4 right there. And it looks like this is our code. So that's the tunes we want to use. Just write that down. So now I got both of them here in case I ever need them. So we can close that, and then I guess, I don't know how many tunes I'm allowed to have. Oh, like it already picked them for me. That's cool. Well, it pulled them up for me here. So I guess, yeah, so I chose spot 1 here, and I was kind of going through them. I kind of think, I'm gonna see how many it lets me select. It lets me select all 14 or 15, then I'll just load this thing up, but for now, if it doesn't. All right, so I changed them up a little bit. We got the factory in spot 1, whisper mode, high idle mode, light tow, medium tow, heavy tow, 40 daily, 65 daily driver, 80 daily driver, 65 performance, and 80 performance. And then I guess eventually I can come in here and change all these depending on like which one of these I like and which one I never use, so we'll go with that. So I guess next you just hit program all positions, and then it goes through and does this thing. All right, there we go. So now if I print calibrated list, save it. Boom, there you go. You can kind of see what we got. Factory, whisper mode, 1100 horsepower, tow, daily driver, performance, and the other forward blink. So, used 11. Alright, so then I guess that's it. And then we're good to go. So, tuning is done. And now it's just time to pull this apart and do the appropriate cleaning measures to this thing. So, let's get after that. So, I guess we just push this little door out here. And then we have to work on cleaning up these pins, because this is where the tuner actually connects to. I don't know if it says if you can see copper, you've gone too far. So I think we'll stop there. This might have already been done before. Mr. Stick-Up guy here. Got a piece of hot glue on that dude, and then I also put a little bit of tape on here where it's gonna contact, so hopefully it's gonna be fine. It is weird, a lot of the other people I've seen do this don't have that there, so it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, so we'll just stick this dude in here. Yeah, and then watching other people's installs, I saw they leave this cable on as well. So I'm gonna do that also for ease of future retunes if needed. I'll just tuck it up under the dash. So there we go. There we go. A little clean spot. All right, get one shot here. Hopefully I don't hate it. It's kind of temporary anyway, because they make a little thing that fills into this spot here. You can put it in there. They make some cool adapters. Put it up here maybe. That'd be kind of neat. But I need to get a longer cable for that, so that should work for now. Let's see. Let's. Got my tunes down here, just in case we need them. Let's see what happens when we go key on. Hydra. 0. So if we go 1, I guess we have to check. Wait, start comes on. All right, everything looks good. So this should start factory. Sounds factory to me. All right, let's try 1,000. Let's try whisper. I guess 2. Oh. All right, high idle. All right, well, I guess it's time we take this thing for a ride. All right, let's give this a shot. Much more responsive now. I'll say that much. The 80 horsepower performance. Oh, that feels way better. We're gonna do that from a stop, but when the turbo comes online, it's way better. That's nice. We'll go through all the gears real quick, or at least the first couple. Oh yeah. I guess I need to learn how to shift. Crazy. Even the small ones are fun. What's that? 40 horsepower daily driver? Even that's fun. This is so much fun. I can't imagine how much fun having an actual bigger turbo and actually having like bigger injectors would be, because this is all everything on this thing's factory except for the turbo wheel and now the tuner. So it's like, if this is that much fun, I can't imagine how much fun bigger sticks in this thing would be. All right, so this is 80 horsepower extreme. Same road, same direction, from a stop. Oh, the music stopped. There it is, the music's going.